Sorry I'm running a wee bit later than usual, but that is life. Let's get started here. Well, let's get this fire started. I can have some of my breakfast. Whew. See, the trick is to get the fire started before your fingers freeze off. And I also woke up with a wee bit of a migraine, so there's that. Been hammering in the cold with a migraine is always fun. But got a few things we're going to be doing today, so it'll be nice. And I'm actually working on a video for y'all about making a crown. So here's where I left off on that. Still got to do the back camber and stuff. That's going to be fun. We're going to be setting some jewels, or a jewel, right in the center. On the copper, we're going to do, copper bezel and, everything around that. So that'll be fun. I expect that video to drop somewhere mid next week. And Garlic Guy, yo, hi, hello, how we doing? A little bit of breakfast while this burns up. And Jennifer said hi. Hello, Jennifer. How we doing? Being super healthy in the new year. And say Joshi said hi. Hello. So today we're going to be working on some spoons. Once we get this up to temperature, we're going to throw some coal on there and get rolling. And Jennifer, I want some Burger King. And am I smithing? Yes, I am. Or I will be shortly once this, burns down a little bit. I can get some coal on there. And a good thing about being a blacksmith, bloop, your trash turns into more fuel. Let's see. And Rooster Chaser. BK is actually a better option than the rest for ingredients. I think I like McDonald's breakfast better, but Burger King's lunch I think is better. We can start pre-warming this, I guess. You're talking poison. Burger King has less poison. Really? start to consolidate some stuff here. Should be able to throw on some coal here in just a moment. So other than watching me, what is everyone else doing today? And what am I making? I am going to be trying to make a spoon, like a swizzle stick type thing today. I got an order for several, and I think what I'll do is I'll do the body first, and I have some thick copper sheet around here somewhere. Here's the thin stuff. I have a nice thick plate of it here. Ah, there it is. So I got a plate of 16 gauge copper here. Habla español, por favor? No, I really don't. A little bit, but... And is that a wood wall behind my forge? Yes, it is. And the forge itself is also mostly made out of wood. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to use this as the spoon here, as the bowl of the spoon. I got dapping black out back, or over there somewhere. I will use to form the bowl. But we're going to work on doing the first. And actually, I might be able to cheat a little bit on the first one. If I can find the rest of that steel for that. It's a 1/2 inch by 1/8 inch bar steel. Put it somewhere. I might be able to knock out 2 of these guys today. That glove to warm up a little bit. Let's see. Smithing, that's so cool, dude. Thank you. Thank you much. I try to do interesting things with my life. And this accomplishes a few things. It makes money, it's interesting, and it's fun. Now let's see. Belt's out of the way. That's spare wire, which we'll probably end up using today, actually. Because on this thing, what I want to do, there's the wire I'm going to use for the crown. Let's get that off to the side. I want to put a line of copper straight down the center, and then give it a little twist. And lazy a little bit. Awesome. Why can't all streamers be more productive instead of drawing people's names on their face and bouncing ping pong balls off the dick into a bucket? Jesus. I don't know. It's a great comment, though. Let's see. Sylvania said hi, and Nick Britton, cool setup. How long have I been smithing for? Oh Jesus, 22 years now, I think. And smithing also made you proficient in wanking. Yes, it's allowed me to pick up my massive balls off the ground every morning. Why does everyone ask questions like that? Y'all so weird. And Arnold Brown said hi. Hello. Y'all have some weird ass questions. Let's see here. Is this consolidated enough that we can... Oh yeah, that's good. This on there, over there. And... pretty much good, right like that. Now where's that other piece of steel? because that would be a lot more efficient to use today. I'm trying to do it like this. I'm trying to forge that guy down into a thin little bar. I can do it, it's just, well, why work harder than you have to, you know? I don't know where I put it, because I didn't put it back in the stock bin like I'm supposed to. You can see I'm very well organized. But you know what we'll do? I have a better idea than using that. Got a piece of 1/4-inch stock here. We can do that. We could use that. That'll work. Save the thicker stuff for something else. Danielle Lawson, hi. Kelpo, hi. Mitchell Gardner, I'm pretty proficient. Hell, I've been doing it since I was 9. Well, good for you. And what's my greatest creation? Oh, geez. That's a... I don't know about greatest. But a couple years ago, I did make a matched set of swords and daggers. It was... What was it? It was 2 cane swords and a dagger, all with bone handles, you know, beautiful inlays. I think I used ash or hickory, I can't remember, for the cane staff, for the canes. They had quick release mechanisms on them. It was just all Damascus. That was, it took me way longer to do than I quoted the customer, but it happens. That happens. But damn, were they pretty. Mm-hmm. All right. You see how everything is kind of consolidated now into those nice little coals? That's exactly where you want to be. Then good. Nope. Get this damn thing out of the way. I'm not using it right now anyways. Should finish this at some point. Let's see. Miguel Carmo said hi, hello, and Michelle, what's your personal favorite should be the question. Yeah, I still think that's cool. Assassin's Creed stuff right there. You know, I did one of those, what you call it? Those double action Assassin's Creed knives before. Man, was that a pain in the ass to get right, but ooh, was it pretty. It was beautiful. I'm new to your stream, brother. What are you doing right now? Well, right now I'm getting the forge warmed up, so I can start making some. I'm gonna make a spoon, a swizzle stick. Sis, new to your stream, brother. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Mazel, have you ever made needles? No. Blacksmith in China make acupuncture needles. Oh, that's cool. And have I made a Conan sword? No, I haven't. That would be really awesome, though. But I think we can get the, I think we can get some coal in here now. Ooh, that's starting to get warm. Of course, it's sitting in the fire. And then we'll get the I think this is it. There it is. Huzzah! What's the legendary Zwei handler? Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, listen. If someone commissions one, I'll give you half off. I would love to make either Conan sword or Zwei handler. Is it just coal or something else to rise in the temperature? It's just coal and air. I start off with wood. To get the fire started. Still coming up. Put my earplugs in, and then once that burns into some nice hot coals, I throw the coal on, increase the airflow, and boom, you get a nice 3,000 degree fire. Or there and about. So first I have to pound this out so I get the dimensions I want. Then we'll put in the copper. We'll stamp it and go from there. Give us 3 pieces of trick or coal info about blacksmithing, please. Well, blacksmithing is a hell of a lot easier than most people realize. And I'm telling you all the information because I'm not too good at doing tricks. I gave up that lifestyle. You can basically do it. Pennies on the dollar. It's a great stress reliever. It's not this big mysterious stuff. There's your first fact about blacksmithing. Second, if you run a solid fuel core, you could run basically any solid fuel you want. There are some days where I smith with coal, some days I smith with charcoal, and some days I use just wood. And the third trick, even though that's a 3,000 degree fire, I am freezing my ass off in the summer, or in the winter. Because all the heat is concentrated right in the coal, and most of the excess heat goes up the chimney. And here we go, boys. The pounding begins. Yep. That's what she said. Yep. And Cowell, am I gay? Why, are you asking? Or are you going to pay? A lot of people ask that question. It's strange. Like, I'm here just making something, and you're asking about my sexual orientation. I didn't think that many people would daydream about what's going on between my legs. Well, hey, you do you, boo. Oh man, I didn't like that place. That's disappointing. Corel, I'm not gay. Why? What did you hear? I think he's asking. He's lonely. Wants a friend. Well, that's okay though. No shame without connection. Let's see. What made metal go brittle after cooling? So, all right. That only happens really with high carbon steels. So mild steel, which is a medium to low carbon steel, won't do it. But when you bring it up to critical temperature, you get rid of the grain structure of the steel. By cooling it fast, like quenching with a knife blade, you keep those grains small, so they make them really hard but really brittle. That's why you temper them, to give the steel some resilience and allow certain crystals to grow big. But yeah, if you take some high carbon steel and quench it and don't temper it, you can snap it like glass. It's fascinating. There's a lot of technical terms, martinite, austenite, and all that stuff, but basically, you get it hot, you cool it off fast, it's brittle, but hard. So that's what it is. And Yuki Amaglin, am I good boy chat? Am I a good boy chat? I don't know about a good boy chat, but you are a good boy. Be proud of yourself. And Yuki, that's to be determined. Am I a good boy though? You're a very good boy. Higher grade or pure carbon, more delicate? That kind of depends. It's all situational. Like, I primarily work with 1095. That's a good knife grade steel, and I do a lot of knives. I've gotten comfortable with it. But different situations want different types of steel. So like for this swizzle stick here, you know, I'm doing mild steel for copper stuff, so I don't need to worry really about, you know, hardness or not hardness. So it all just depends on what you're trying to do with it. And could you quench in liquid nitrogen? You don't want to quench in liquid nitrogen. That would cool the steel way too fast. For any meaningful anything to happen, you'll just blow it apart. However, there are a few processes where you do, after the steel is quenched, tempered, and finished, you would put that into liquid nitrogen. Certain steels will handle very nicely for that. And it gives you a slightly extra hard edge. Just right at the thinnest part of the steel, which is the blade. Which does make things a little nice. But that's only for like super high performance blades and, you know, super technical steels and stuff. I don't worry about all that. You know, I don't need to make a $4,000. You know, I make a lot of blades and a lot of things to be used and work with. Am I tripping or the hammer bouncing when it's hitting the end? You're not at all. A good anvil will have a good return on it. Okay, serious question. A lot of Japanese sword makers add clay to the edge of the blade. Does that have anything to do with differential hardening, or is it just for the hamon? That actually is specific to the differential hardening, and because they do a differential hardening and their steel was such junk, that's why they developed the processes, the specific processes that they did. So their steel, or the steel traditionally done with katana, wakizashi, and tonsils, is they do a water clean. And the cool thing is, when they put that clay on there, what's going on, metallurgically, is they're letting that blade have a serrated, hardened section. So the blade itself isn't serrated, but the hardened section inside makes up for a lot of the junk steel. So they were very clever with how they did it. Okay, we're going to get this processed a little bit better and even some of this out, and then we're going to work on I do want to do an inlay down the side. I think that'll be cool. So what that did is, you know, their blades are straight when they're forged. They're straight when they're forged and ground. When they put that clay on there, they bring it up to the critical temperature and toss it in the oven. And what that does is there's a few videos somewhere on YouTube. I think slow-mo guys might have one. That process actually ends up putting the curve in the blade. So how they you know, shape it and how they put the clay on there determines the amount of curve. Very cool stuff. Are we on the handle stage, and will you add the previous copper for the spoon head? Yes. We are in the handle stage. I'm just getting this 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch square bar, forging something a little bit nicer. Actually, let me grab my other handle here. Give me a slightly nicer fit. And then we're going to cool off the handle so we can work on it. And then while that's cooling, we're going to do the whatchamacallit, the spoon head. Your shop is a mess. Yes, it is. I have to cram in 5 days worth of work into a day and a half. And It's a lot easier to clean in the summer. Just about at the dimensions we want. And by working it cold like that, where it's kind of it kind of gives me a kind of plannish, which is pretty cool. So there's less grinding to it. I hate grinding. I'm getting warm, so let's take this off. Un momento, por favor. That's about all the Spanish I know. There we go. A little bit better. Ooh, chilly now. Man, story of my life, right? So, once summer comes, or springtime, and it's a little bit lighter later, I'll be able to do a little bit better with clean the shop out. It's kind of difficult in the winter. Oh, yeah, that feels better. It's better already, baby. Right. I'm gonna see them thick veiny blacksmith floors. All right. Whatever gets you to like, comment, and subscribe. And Mitchell Gardner. No, I meant small hammer with big personality. Oh, I'm sure. It's a perfectly reasonably sized hammer. I'm going to do a wee bit of fire maintenance here first. Call it handy. Yo, nuts. I love it. Smithing is not really about having the big hammer, the small hammer, whatever. It's having the right hammer for the right job. right tongues, the right thing. So sometimes it's a little baby hammer. I guess you can't call it a meat can. How long will this project be finished, you reckon? Well, probably by the end of the spring I'll be done with it. Most of that was getting the fire up to temperature. Let's let that cool off. Toss that right in the water. Alan, how's it going? Pretty good, actually. It's cold, but it's good. How about for yourself? And how long will this project? It's about skill, poor craftsman blames his tools. Yeah, kind of. And wow, his blacksmith name come from the worker covered in the iron dust till black, or and his name was Smith? No. So Smith basically means worker maker. So that's how you get the terms like wordsmith for Shakespeare, who made up words. You know, but you have coppersmith, silversmith, tinsmith, whitesmith, locksmith, armorsmith, blacksmith. Black comes from the color of the metal when you work. Dump the other end in there. Pull that off some. So I'll show you when I pull that out. But instead of being all bright and shiny like silver, once you work it and heat it and cool it and everything else, like copper. Heated and cooled, copper stays copper color. Silver and gold stays silver and gold. Steel, or all forms of iron actually, when you work them, it gets this black oxide layer on the outside. And that's just what happens to it. Stage 1 pounding done. Stage 1 pounding. We need to get to stage 2. Alan, you're doing a spicy 3D print. Fun. And can we say a sex worker is a meatsmith? Hello? There we go. All right. This one died. Odd. He's got y'all are nuts. I love it. But yeah, let's get this cut here. Let's see. Do I have my calipers out somewhere? I should. You can tell I don't ever put shit away. Hi, Mama. I don't think I'm your mama. Well, good luck finding her. Yeah, let's do this copper bit here. You know what? We'll find something of an appropriate size and go from there. Let's call this an appropriate size. Probably a bit on the big side, but you know, whatever. Where is that? So in a moment, we'll just turn this fire off. I want to get this work first. Everything else could probably be done clear. All right. Let me find my pickup tongs here, because that will be needed. Let's see. Oh, I sub. You seem like a cool ass dude. Well, thank you much. Any work is so ass or hard that you almost give up to work with. Not really. Sometimes I don't do it right away, but usually, if that's the case, I stop, come, do some research and come back. And there's a lot of jobs like that. Like I'll take a job, not know how to do it at all, and just say yeah, and I'll throw a number on it, which I'll probably lose money on, but then I figure it out. Something ridiculous. I mean, I've done gates, I've done armor, I've done cooking implements, I've done sex toys, I've done everything but prosthetics, basically. And I would do those too. And Moxie probably super steel. Huh? Don't know what that's about. Let's get this copper nice and hot because I want it super soft.
I mean, I already know it's hot enough to burn the living bejesus out of you, but see, like I said, it stays quite malleable, or stays copper colored. Is it? Let's see. Hold up. I heard metal sex toys. Metal, wood, silicone, leather. Listen, I can make anything but a good financial decision. Is the schlop? I guess a better question is, what is the most frustrating project I did? I'd have to say that the best project that I did was the most frustrating, which was that match set of cane swords and dagger. That was a real. It took me like 5 times longer to do it, and it was really finicky getting the locking mechanisms to work, and with the specific type of bone they wanted to use for the handle. And then getting everything to fit in that sword, the cane, it was difficult. And my shop didn't have as much as I have now, so it was a real difficult, really frustrating, but still like the best pieces I ever made. Make a Shakira replica, like the singer. Shakira, and prosthetics have not yet. I'm sure someone will ask me sometime, make a prosthetic something, be it a phallus, arm, foot, whatever, finger. People ask me for weird things. I give them a number that seems reasonable to me. They're like, oh my God, yeah, that's great. And I end up losing money on it, but it's a cool project nonetheless. That's usually how it goes. So somebody somewhere is going to ask me for a prosthetic something at some point. I know it. Even if it's just a joke, like, I know one of my clients, she had to back out because she's losing her leg. She might, hopefully as a joke, ask me for a prosthetic leg. I'll just fire up the lathe and turn one out of some pretty stuff. Maybe you can put a little spring foot on it. Okay. That's cooled off for now. Let's get out this dapping block that I haven't used in forever. And let me get this guy here. And where's my heavy hammer? Back here somewhere. I don't think I've actually used this dapping block in like almost 10 years. What flavor vape? Pistachio today, but I need to go to the vape shop and get something new. And I don't think I'm going to do pistachio again. And I am vaping, but most of this coming out of my mouth is just because the air is so cold. What is back in the fire? Fire means. Want to keep this nice and soft, so it's going to go back and forth into the fire quite a bit. Pistachio, I know it's not for everyone. It's a very odd flavor, but it seems to be the one that I've been most accustomed to recently. I don't know why. And I am trying to get off it. And if anyone's wondering, today's menu is copper spoon. Yep. Might have let that go out a little too far. Maybe not. This might be a dumb idea, but we're going to throw some lighter fluid in there, see what happens. Fire! All right, so I might have killed that flame. That's all right. You can always just quickly restart it. Oh, let's wait for this to heat up first. I guess I'm not going to get this done in the hour. My top one of weird baked juice is called Scallion Chicken Noodle Ramen flavor. That is definitely that definitely sounds like an acquired taste. And that just makes me hungry. Like all the time. Let's see. Next, I'm going to need to use my small ball peen here, I believe. That's not the small one. Do I have the small one over here? I may or may not. Here's my two big ones. Let's get this copper piece out of the way because that'll just make me angry. Oh, here it is. Wrong side. I think that's all the heat we're going to get out of that. Should get it soft enough though. Put the dapping block away. Put the heavy hammer away. It's still kind of warm. What we'll do actually, do I have it here still? I should. Some there. I don't know where it's at. I have a little stakeholder, but that's fine if we can't find it, right? Right. Let's move you all over here so you can see a wee bit better. And okay, pounding done. We fusing? Not yet. Not yet. Gotta do some. We gotta get this to the right size. It's all about getting this to the right. That's Andy's little brother. Yeah, I have even smaller hammers than this, if you could believe it. This is almost to where I want it. So I think I want to take some of these sides down a little bit. And I think stretch it this way just a little bit. So how are we going to do that? It's going to be a little back and forth here. No, where's the other one? Because that'll work better for this process. I just had it in my hands, I swear. You know, folks, I'd lose my head if it was attached to my head. I used to think that was a silly saying until I grew up. See, now we're starting to get to that spoon shape. Let's see, 13:30. Heard and understood. Would you be able to text the client and tell him 3 o'clock, please? I appreciate that. And we're at the hour mark, so unfortunately, this is where I'm going to leave off, guys, because I got to finish that crown type thing. It's not really a crown, but we'll call it that for our purposes here. So, anyways, there is that. So that's my hour. Now I got to get on to finishing this crown, which is going to have this pretty stone inlaid in it. So, thanks for watching, y'all. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Like, comment, sub, subscribe, all that jazz. I can hear myself again. If you have a commission, go send an email to knightsmith.sales@gmail.com. If you want to support me, as a tip jar, basically, go over to patreon.com/Knightsmith. Even $1 a month helps. And yeah, I'm doing a video on this crown. So look for that in the next week or so. And Idiot I Doth Man said hi, hello. But otherwise, I gotta get working on this. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thank you for helping make this world better. One kerf a diamond. I'll see y'all next week.